Hey,
Yo, what up, Rick? What up, man?
what's up, big YouTuber?
Chilling. It's the summer,
Chilling. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since we did some live action here.
Yeah, Ricky, where the hell you been, man?
Eat and sleep and work and repeat. Enjoying the 110-degree weather. It's so nice out here. I love this weather.
So check this out, Rick. We had like 95 plus for like 7 days straight in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Not the move, bro. I work at a bakery with a 1,000-degree oven.
Exactly. And that humidity don't help.
I was like melting, dude. It was so hot in the bakery. Yeah, it was like we had to get up extra early because you can get some cooler hours, like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. But like by 9 a.m. it was 80, 85. So like it didn't even matter. Yeah, not ideal, dude. The desert heat has been treating you well,
Oh yeah, I like this. This is great. I mean,
yeah, Ricky,
I'm
you were in the Keys for what, 15 years, 10 years?
No, 5 years in the Keys.
5 years. Night and day.
Yeah, it was
so different.
I'm telling you what. I was out there today. I was standing outside. It was 110. I'm just standing out there in my uniform, and it's black uniform, so the sun's hitting you. And I'm just standing out there, and everybody's looking at me. Says, "Are you crazy? Ain't you hot?" I go, "No, this is beautiful weather here."
It's always relative, like what you're used to. You know what I'm saying? So if you're coming
True.
from, tropics versus, like the desert, it's like a different story.
Absolutely.
Damn, we got some chitter chatter going on in the live chat.
Yeah, we got some peeps in here.
Yep, I see South Joe. Salute to you guys. Zero Cools in the house. Max Tech Studios. EM Tech B. What up, guys? Speed test channel. I think he logged like 1,000 miles today in driving, and he was speed testing.
Wow.
All carriers, so he's got a ton of data points he probably wants to share with us. Send over those data points, Doug.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need more.
Yeah, and something's weird been happening too. Chase is actually coming out here to Vegas, and he's been on AT&T the whole trip. He's been on his iPhone 13, I think is what he's got. He's talking, right? Normally, when you're talking on your phone, you don't get no 5G. You just get LTE when you're on a phone call. He's had 5G plus while on a phone call, and he's had 5GE and then regular fake 5G, all that stuff. So I don't know if it's the iPhone that's able to do 5G and be on a voice over LTE call, because the Samsung absolutely can't do that. This, when you're on a phone call with this, you get 10 megahertz of LTE. That's it.
For the call.
So during a phone call. Yeah. So your speed is tanked. Now,
I have seen the SA toggle on the iPhone. I just don't know if it's on the 13. Yeah, it's on the 14 for sure.
That's just weird. I thought that was. He said, "Yeah, I got 5G plus right now." I go, "How you're on a phone call? How's that possible?" I thought that was weird. But he's lost service 3 times on the way here with AT&T. So AT&T is still rocking with the good coverage. Even though you got that DC crap going on,
Yeah, less than ideal. Less than ideal. It actually degrades the experience. So they're willing to sacrifice the experience to get the icon.
Yep, that's right.
Not a fan.
A lot of deception and lies going on there.
Yeah.
Just because you see that icon,
but you gotta keep up with the Joneses. You remember when T-Mobile had the 5G icon on 5 megahertz of 71?
Yeah, we were doing speed testing and going through the service menu. It's like, what in the monkey's going on here? It's like a bunch of monkey business going on. So yeah, that's craziness.
It's like tricking. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Trickery, hickory, dickory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just posted my member in there for some 19 months there. So it's been a long time.
Rick's one of the OGs. You guys don't even know, man. Some of the new people don't know who you are, Rick.
They don't know. I remember our first live stream like over 4 years ago when I come on your channel that time.
I forget your tag too. Your name was different. It was I don't know, had something to do with, I think, ham radio.
Ricky Florida Keys.
Was it?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, back then. Before I made my channel. Yeah, it could have been something else like that. But yeah, so make sure you join SMT, support the big YouTuber. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to get involved with the chat tonight, become a member. You could have access to it that way. Let's see here. 8 p.m. in the Eastern. Rick, I think you're Pacific. So
yeah, we're on the West Coast now. Yeah, West Coast. Yeah, Pacific time. Yeah, it's like 5:11 here. I just got off work at 2:00. Come home and got my tea. I had to get my tea, rocking my tea. I've been drinking more tea than coffee lately.
too.
I drink 1 cup of coffee this morning, and I do my black tea with cane sugar in it.
We have mint growing like wildfire in the backyard right now, so I've been throwing tons of mint into my tea.
Way.
Yeah,
well,
good.
hopefully a dog didn't pee on the mint before you put it in your tea.
No dogs back there, bro. So we're good.
Oh, no dogs. Oh, okay. Or pigeons pooping on it or something.
Yeah, that's possible. That's why we got to wash it. Sure.
Make you wash it really good first. That's right.
As long as this means doing her job, man. If she isn't washing it, then
there you go, man.
We're getting the extra nutrients and minerals in there.
Yeah, a little extra. Yep.
All right, so check this out, Rick. I'm gonna kind of. There's one thing I do want to discuss, but outside of that,
it's your show, baby. Go ahead.
Let you kind of put some things together here.
We'll just put the 5G icing on the cake here.
Yeah. Should we start with the first page you got there?
Oh, it's up to you how you want to do it. Yeah.
Okay, we'll bring it in here.
All right.
All right, Rick. So a lot of it
has a big topic.
Yeah, a lot has been made about the 4.9 gigahertz. It's 50 megahertz of bandwidth. AT&T FirstNet kind of in the catbird seat to get access to this 50 megahertz of well, what AT&T believes is going to be N79. Internally, they're preparing for this to be a full-powered macro band 5G channel. So you're telling me that's not going to happen?
That's right. This is basically band 48 2.0.
I'm not into that, Ricky.
I ain't either.
I think band 48 is the only thing that needs to be that way. We don't need more like that.
We don't need more of that. And they're talking about doing some more stuff. Upper mid band.
So
7 to 16 gigahertz. So talk about doing a whole 1,000 megahertz chunk of shared crap. With 20 megahertz channels.
I'm okay with them doing it with like one band. And just sacrifice that band for it.
That's it. Nuke
Leave all the other bands alone. Right?
Yep.
It's like you take a part of your property where your dog gets to just tear up the yard, right? You give him that little segment. He's digging holes, he's burying bones, he's slinging dirt. You get this part, wreck it, destroy it, do what you do. The rest of it, prime real estate. Leave it alone. You know what I mean?
That's right. Just like the man cave. You gotta leave the man cave alone,
Tell us
don't mess with the man cave.
Tell us what we got here. This 4.9 gigahertz.
Yeah, so basically, of course, I've been watching the streams, you guys talk about all this and stuff, but I don't know if anybody actually really read all the details and stuff. The last thing we have is back in January 2023. That's the last update I could find. I didn't find anything since then where they've changed anything. But basically, it's a mess. It just horrifies me what they're getting ready to do here. So, of course, it's not official yet, but I mean, they say what they're going to do and everything. But here's the magic thing that says here: frequency coordination, a bandwidth manager. Okay, so that just screams band 48 there because they have the SAS.
Yeah,
they have that in there.
Same thing.
And and so that's there. And then I found some other stuff here. Let's see. I kind of made some screenshots so we can just go like faster to it here. Let's see. Just a little screenshot here. This is a little section here. So about antenna gain. What number 65 says? Antenna gain. The commission proposed to require a minimum antenna gain of 26 dBi for P2P. You know what that is, right? Point to point. Yep. Enable users to deploy larger directional antennas and produce narrow beam widths and more directional point-to-point links, which should enable co-channel users in congested areas to place links closer together and achieve greater frequency reuse. So, what does that tell you?
Well, it also follows.
There's not going to be any multiple user massive MIMO.
But look, it says a majority of commenters oppose this. That means
right.
that they're receiving that commentary that those rules could change.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They pose it because they don't want the interference to happen. They don't even want this point-to-point stuff. Like, because what if AT&T is doing point-to-point for their FirstNet stuff and you interfere with the satellite stuff? Because there's going to be satellite stuff on this 50 megahertz. It's shared, not the whole United States, but majority of it. So any time a signal can pop up. If a signal pops up, then guess what? They have to stop broadcasting it.
Yeah, power.
So this isn't even 100. This isn't like you go to auction and you got the exclusive rights like a PAL. You don't even get that. That's why I can't believe that they're even pushing this really hard.
Well, Ricky, what I think is happening is I think the rules are going to be different because the FCC wants to gift this to AT&T and FirstNet. You don't gift it to them if it's not going to be full powered.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just unlicensed. It's what do they call it? They call it like public safety spectrum, basically. It's been. They're trying to essentially take it away and just give it. So if you gift it to one operator, then you could turn the power up.
Yeah, but you can't because it's already being used for satellite stuff and other stuff. There's other users already on there.
Banned for satellite. Is it on the top end or the bottom end?
I don't know exactly who's on there or what, but I know I read in here there where it says that there's other users. I just can't remember if it's exactly.
They can't figure out some kind of common ground or solution.
And here's the second problem. Second problem is channel aggregation.
All right, let's take a look.
So you can do 20 megahertz, 10 or 20 megahertz channels. And look here, it says, well, let's start the beginning here. Okay, so the expanding the limit to 40 megahertz. They was going to do 40 megahertz channel, but they was opposed because, well, you can't do that because it's going to be shared and it's going to hog too much bandwidth up. So they're suggesting the whole 50 megahertz, but to carrier aggregate up to 50. So you're going to have a 20 megahertz channel, another 20 megahertz channel, another 20 megahertz channel, and then another 20 megahertz. There's 40, and then a 10 megahertz channel, and you carrier aggregate all of them together, which means this ain't 5G because 40 megahertz is what the very bare minimum you can use for 5G for the bandwidth purpose. Because, since it's going to be low power, you're not going to have the spectral efficiency, and it's the same problem you have with band 48. And sure, they did modify it so that you can have 40 megahertz of N48, but still, you're still lacking the power and you're lacking the massive MIMO. I mean, look what's coming. You got 128 by 128 stuff coming. You got GigaMIMO coming. You can't use a higher QAM because of this. So that's what I'm saying. This whole thing is just a big smokescreen. It's like, oh, look what we're doing for public safety. And basically, it's a slap in the face. It's like saying, okay, we're going to have a super duper breakfast.
I don't think all hope is lost, Rick. I don't think. Look at the language in some of the description here. It says channel aggregation up to 50 megahertz to be permitted. I think they're proposing that the rules are changed. So it says the full 50 megahertz is best suited for 5G deployment. We agree with these commenters. The wider bandwidth should be permitted.
Yes.
5G technology permission. And then it says maximum flexibility for channel licensing. That language tells me that they want to do channel licensing. And they want to do it in the 50 megahertz chunk.
Correct.
And then they could turn up power. Then you're less worried about adjacent and neighboring frequencies. And then,
but even still, with 50 megahertz, I mean, if you do a 40 megahertz channel, then 40 is okay, but you're still going to have the power issue and the no massive MIMO for 5G.
Ricky, they just did the testing. AT&T just did the testing for the 10 megahertz. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see that part. No.
Yeah. So they've been working in the lab testing these different amounts of bandwidth. I'm assuming it's the DoD spectrum, the 3.45 gigahertz. They're probably looking for that from Dish 2, right? So they're starting to play with some of these bandwidth compromised kind of configurations.
Yep.
I don't think all hope is lost, Rick.
There's a lot of work to do.
Currently, it seems
Right.
dismal. But if they were to modify those rules,
Right. They'd have to kick the users off there that's already using it so they can go full power.
right?
And they would have to let them have one 50 megahertz channel,
Yeah.
one 50 megahertz channel,
Mhm.
and you can make it 5G, 50 megahertz. And if it's full power, you can do a little spectral efficiency. It's not going to be as good as N77 with 100 megahertz, of
Right.
course. But you could turn this into something good for FirstNet. But the way it is now and the way they're talking, is crazy.
I think there's time for these things to get ironed out. They're probably looking at they're probably looking at some point this year that we need some solid information. Like right now,
I don't think it's going to get ironed out that quick.
Right now, Verizon is pushing back. The New York Public Safety Commission is pushing back.
Yeah.
So is like Boston. Major metros, basically. They don't want to lose access. You know what I'm saying, Rick? That's what it boils down.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, they want to salvage this, because it is needed. The first responders need something, but this is not something the way it is now that's going to be like this spectacular 5G thing. It's just, it's more like band 48, just a little, yeah.
Then it could be meaningful.
Yep. And the thing is, they want to carrier aggregate 20 megahertz channels. That's just like LTE. So it's just crazy. And then you carrier aggregate. So if you do 5 carrier aggregation, 20, 20, 20, 20, and 10, there's 5 carrier aggregation. An X75 modem can do 5 carrier aggregation. So what we're going to do, get rid of N77?
No, of course not.
All the other stuff. But if you do this, you can't do the rest of the stuff.
No, that's
so
why
you got to pick
is mandatory.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way.
You got to have one 50 megahertz channel to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely agree.
Even splitting it, with 2 carriers, like say, Verizon should get involved because they serve half of the first responders in the country.
Yeah, they have frontline too. Why can't they get a piece of the pie? But if you split 50 megahertz between 2 people, it's a no-go. I mean,
because in its 50 megahertz existence, it's awesome.
Yep.
It has potential. And any type of slicing of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But it's just like a pizza. You take a piece, like I brought pizza over and I lay it on the table. I go, well, Mr. SMT, you're only going to get 1 slice of pizza. Well, what about the rest? I'm hungry.
It'd be like taking a slice and cutting it in half. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. You take a slice and cut it in half and say, oh, here's your slice. And you go, wait, what are you doing?
See, like Absolutely. 200, 300, 400 megahertz of bandwidth going to auction. That's a pizza.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody gets like a third of the pizza, a quarter of the pizza or whatever.
Yeah, well, guess what? Wait till you see what's going to be happening here pretty soon. If the FCC gets off their rump and does it, there's 1,000 megahertz chunk, their upper mid band that they want to do.
What frequency?
But it's like 16 gigahertz, I think it is, or something like that.
There's a bunch of 12 gigahertz that was used for satellite or is being used for satellite. They're talking about split, bringing some of that to terrestrial.
Let's see if I have that article here. I don't know if I found that, but yeah, here's the PDF that has all that stuff.
Where's the millimeter wave starting point? Which frequency?
17 gigahertz, I think.
Okay, so
you got the upper mid band. It's like 7 to 16 gigahertz.
So is 16 gigahertz considered microwave?
Yeah.
Like KU or KA?
Yeah, actually microwave starts in the X band, which is 1 gigahertz actually, or 1024 gigahertz. That's actually X band.
Okay.
So you got X bands like really, really low. And then you go up to K band, which is 2.4 gigahertz. And then you go up to KA band. That's when you start getting up into the higher parts, like 33. Because they use that for police radar, 33 gigahertz, 34 gigahertz, and 35 gigahertz.
I used to see that on my radar detectors back in the day when I used to monitor the police station. Right.
Yeah, here's a slide. It kind of shows you all the gigahertz and stuff. So
let's take
so basically you got 5G FR1. It says sub 6 gigahertz, but really it's 7 because that 3GPP changed it. Is N96, N102, and those 6 gigahertz 5G is included that now. But I don't think it's ever going to happen because it's just it's low powered stuff, and you got to worry about interference from indoor Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff. But it's actually, 7 gigahertz down, sub 7 is what it is. And that's your FR1. Then you got the centimeter band, and that's got that's pretty much like the upper mid band. So that gets you from 7 gigahertz to 24 gigahertz. And then you got 5G FR2, which is millimeter wave. You see there, 24 gigahertz all the way up to 71 gigahertz. So that is pretty much the main millimeter wave band. So, and then you go up anything above 71 gigahertz, then that's sub terahertz. So from there all the way up to 300 is sub terahertz. And then anything above 300 is terahertz. And that's the really, really high stuff.
They're talking.
And remember, they already did a test on 150 gigahertz.
Yeah, they're talking.
They did it.
Terahertz being the 6G frequencies,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they did 128 by 128 massive MIMO on 150 gigahertz. And they took 2 antennas. I think it was like 1,000 feet away. And they got 30 gigs down and 5 gigs up. Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it? And that's only 128 by 128.
Right. I mean, you're talking point-to-point solutions. You're trying to...
No, not really. Not when you start putting in multi-gig MIMO, like 5,000 antennas. See, what's going to be happening in the future? You know how we have a panel antenna you put on a tower? Mm-hmm. You know what they're going to start doing? They're going to start going to phased array antennas. The side of a whole building, a 10-story building, they're going to put these phased array panels up there across the whole building. The whole antenna will be the building. And so it'll be like beaming out and all
the whole side of the building.
Yeah, all 4 sides. And it's going to be putting all this centimeter wave, sub terahertz, and terahertz out. Oh yeah, the future looks crazy in 15 years. I'm telling you.
That's wild.
I could talk for hours and hours just on that, but you know how I am. I'm a tech dude, so I like studying all this stuff.
What do you think is the most appropriate range for because we've already explored 3 gigahertz. So what's the next frontier for the investment for 5G spectrum?
Yeah, the 3 gigahertz band, they're already working on that. That's going to be like 128 by 128 massive MIMO if that comes out, and it's going to be the full duplex subband, full duplex. Basically, you have 2 antennas. You got the receive antenna above, and then the transmit. The way it is now with N77 is they're overlapped. You got the transmit here and the receive like this, so they're interfering with each other. That's why you can't go full power on 100 watts or 100 megahertz of spectrum, because the transmit wipes out the receive. But now if you separate them, then you got the transmit, you got the receive, and then the transmit, and they're separated. So
Ricky,
your sensitivity is going to go by a lot higher.
New designs, that's
yeah. Because right now we got 256 QAM
up on towers.
Mm-hmm. The QAM is the magic. That's what makes the data flow. The QAM. The higher the QAM, the better. So we're talking GigaMIMO. We're going to have probably 16,000 QAM.
Holy cow!
Yeah, that's why I am very, very convinced that Verizon is going to embrace this technology, and they're going to take N260, which is 39 gigahertz. They got nationwide 1,000 megahertz of it. They can put 2 400 megahertz channels up and do GigaMIMO on it with 16,000 QAM, put on every macro in the United States, and guess what? You got 3-door indoor coverage and 6 or so outdoor coverage.
It's so hard to
That's the future.
It's so hard to imagine.
I know.
Because right now they're doing 8 component carriers.
Yep.
And it's 100 megahertz each, and it's really sensitive. It's very directional. It's great when it's used in the proper venues. And when people are connected to it, obviously it's like a bulletproof capacity layer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But the hard part is just scaling it and getting it in more places and getting it to be more meaningful, so it reaches more phones and reaches more devices. It's probably going to be more meaningful for the CPEs for fixed wireless, right?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be golden for that. Yeah, absolutely for that. Yeah, and then this talks a little bit more about that too. This is a whole article about centimeter wave, which is upper midband, because that's between 3 gigahertz, like we have now for N77. But centimeter wave is basically the 7 to 16 gigahertz.
Yeah,
So that's what
Charlie.
you, that's a,
Charlie and
so that's what
satellite.
I'm going to have is centimeter. Yeah.
Charlie and the
Centimeter.
satellite guys, Elon, are going at it over the 12 gigahertz. So that puts
They
that right.
sure are. They're all fighting over it big time. Like a pack of wolves fighting over a rabbit in the middle of the
Because
field
there's so
there.
much
So.
bandwidth there, Ricky. It's so valuable.
Exactly. I mean, you got 1,000
damn
megahertz
well,
channels that you can do.
you know damn well if they put up hardware for it, like hundreds of megahertz of bandwidth, that is the solution for fixed wireless access.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's going to rain on the wireline wireline operators like Comcast and Spectrum. They're going to be shitting their pants. What do we got?
And then I was just wanting to show you this on the N79. This is what Japan is the only country that's using N79 right now. So if you go up here to 444, right here is N79 right here. Basically, they're using 4,400 to 5,000. So that's 600 megahertz of bandwidth. And look, you can do 100 megahertz channels. So they can do 6 100 megahertz channels on that. And that's what they're doing for 5G over there. And their stuff is like mad crazy. You know, that's the bandwidth is incredible. The speeds are incredible in Japan. So Japan is already, you know, beating us. So not only China, but Japan. But look at these channel sizes.
You know what I mean?
So for us to call 4.9 in USA for this FirstNet, to call it N79 is way off because this is 5G, and the way it's sliced and diced with the pizza, it's going to be LTE, like band 48. So I just want to show everybody that.
Ricky, I gotta believe that they're not going to ruin it, man. If they give it to FirstNet,
I hope not, but I don't have much faith in the FCC right now. As the past 4 years we've been doing these live streams. I mean, think about that.
Yeah, it's been bad.
How many times have we been slapped in the face and bamboozled and deceived and everything? Well, here's your pizza. You open it up and you got a piece of pepperoni laying in there.
Okay, so they did good with Spectrum Auction 108. They cleaned up the 2.5 gigahertz for T-Mobile. Yep. They took care of the white space licenses.
That was awesome.
I think they really need to fix 3 gigahertz. I think they really need to make it, you know, to do something different. Like what it should have been was they should have left the license stuff for the top end, right? The stuff that's closer to satellite, or closer to the airline altimeters, right? So like the 4 gigahertz, the 4.1, whatever it is, they should have left that up there because it could be powered down easily, and then treated the whole 3 gigahertz from 3.0 to 3.9 full power, and that would have been 1,000 megahertz of it. And we would have had what, 2 channels of massive amounts of bandwidth in a lower mid.
Exactly. Yep.
They really dropped the ball, but you know the DoD didn't play nice. They made things complicated, and the FCC was begging them to just get off of it. Who knows what's going to happen with that one? Who knows?
Yep. Well, here's the millimeter wave. This is N257, 258, 259, 60, 61, 62, and now the new N63 band, which is 60 gigahertz. Look at the bandwidth.
Tons.
Between 57 to 71 gigahertz. Look at that. 100 megahertz channel, 400 megahertz channel, 800 megahertz channel, 1600 megahertz channel, and a 2000 megahertz channel. Now tell me what you think the download speeds would be for a 2000 megahertz channel.
Do you need
something like GigaMIMO on it?
You need a 10 gig fiber circuit to even just.
Well, yeah, of course.
You know, like you're.
Yeah. Yeah, input equals output.
Yeah.
But what's the bottleneck now? The bottleneck is the technology going from the tower to the phone. If we fix this.
The modems and antennas. And,
exactly.
Right.
Whatever your starting point is, it doesn't matter what your finishing point is. So if you want to send 10 gigs down to the phone, if the bottleneck and the choking point is the tech taking it from the tower to the phone, you can't go past a gig. Or past 5 gigs.
It's not about 10 gigs to the phone. It's about 10 gigs so that 1,000 phones, 5,000 phones.
Exactly. And that's why the GigaMIMO is going to be so important, because you're talking about 4,000 antenna modules transmitting and another 4,000 receiving. Or maybe 2 and 2. It's probably 2,000, I think 2,000. Because that's why they call it GigaMIMO, because it's 4,000 antennas. That's great. But look at them channel sizes. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's
wild. Look what you can do with 260. So if you do GigaMIMO on N260, 39 gigahertz, look at that. You could do 2 400 megahertz channels and then a 200 megahertz, get your 1,000. So you got 3 carrier aggregation.
Yo, Rick,
what's the limitation right now?
They have two.
It's carrier aggregation.
They've got
stopping us right now.
So they've got N260 and N261.
Yep.
In some places they hold both.
Right. Yep.
Right. So
and all the carriers have at least a 600, 800,000 megahertz of millimeter wave. Even Dish has it.
But they're not building.
Right, because the technology is not there. We need GigaMIMO before they build it. That's what it is. A small cell doesn't work for millimeter wave. So Verizon's making it work because they do multiple of them down the street. So
it does when it's for like the stadium. It does when it works when it's gating in the parking lot. You know, if it's there's
fixed wireless too.
Concert. Yeah, sure. It works that
way.
Yeah, but putting it on a macro and then you're just basically spraying and praying and hoping that it finds someone's phone,
Absolutely, that's true. Yeah, and we're going to be talking about this NTN coming up here. You know what NTN is? Non-terrestrial network. So there's some new NR bands here. We got N510, 511, 512. So this is going to be some interesting stuff. And I'm going to show you what's going to be using that in the future. And I think Verizon is going to be embracing this. It's HAPS, NTN. We're going to talk about that too. But here's your current satellite connection for the iPhone with the SOS mode. So it can use Global Star. That's what this 1600 is. Yeah, so it uses N255. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, look at the bandwidth limitations on here too. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, you don't have much bandwidth, but it's satellite, you're not going to have big wide channels and you can't splatter it like crazy. You got to control the beam width and everything. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. And then back to this here. Let's see. Okay, where's this? Oh, right here, this one here.
Oh, by the way, Rick, we did get some updates from AST and
oh yeah, I saw that
partnership with Verizon and AT&T. And there's a lot of good news actually to report on this. Is that something we should do?
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about that too. I mean, we got time. Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and do that because we're kind of talking about satellite and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
All right, let me do
and then I'll throw the HAPS curveball in there and knock you guys out with it.
All right, cool. All right, so what exactly they dropped as news today? Basically, ASTS gave us some details, things that we didn't know previously about the whole partnership and like the technological side of it. We knew that AT&T invested into ASTS. I think their chief technical officer is also on the board for ASTS. That partnership is really deep, and they've been together working on this project for a few years. Things look pretty good. We're always going to be the first one to get there just because of timing. They've been invested for a long time.
Absolutely.
And then we got news that Verizon was getting involved with ASTS after they said that satellite was crap.
I knew that was going to happen.
Let iPhone do that for you and all that. But they backtracked. I knew it had something to do with the way that this partnership was going to work between the three of them, ASTS, AT&T, and Verizon, because they
need each other.
150 megahertz licenses. So absolutely, you put two and two together, and it's like you knew something was there. So, anyways, the fear, Ricky, was that taking the bandwidth from terrestrial. So degrading the regular cellular network in order to get coverage for a horrible data experience, right? Because you're not going to do much with this, right? It's going to be hopefully a call, hopefully texting, possibly video messaging at some point if they can get the bandwidth there and they can get the efficiency right. That's really what it's going to boil down to.
That's the secret.
So, yeah, and everybody was like, it's not worth it, right? Why are they wasting bandwidth? But apparently, the news today, according to ASTS, is that they are going to be setting this up so there is a segment of the 850 that is going to be complementary spectrum from AT&T and Verizon, and it's not going to cost them any experience on the terrestrial network. So whatever they're doing, however the parameters are, whatever the agreement is in place, that's probably the only reason why Verizon got involved. Verizon doesn't own 850 on a national scale. They probably only own it in like 25% of the country.
True.
AT&T owns a large chunk of it outside of that range, though.
They do.
Together,
Yep.
it makes sense, right? It's like
That's right.
the
You can't
sum
beat them, join
more
them.
than the parts, right? So I think this
Yep.
is actually going to be pretty good. I think T-Mobile is probably going to be the one that has issues because they're doing this through the PCS, through the 1900. And once carriers across the globe are deploying N25, there's going to be interference up the ass, and it's going to ruin that connection. It's going to be horrible. And I don't know what it is about SpaceX, Starlink, Elon. I think he plays people. He convinced T-Mobile this is what you got to do. And T-Mobile was like, all right, well, we got 5 hertz or whatever, and
he conned them.
But it's trash, bro. It's not going to work. I read the white paper. I looked at the interference risk, the spectral efficiency loss, the degradation of the signal. It even violates the 3GPP standard.
Yep.
and they have to get an exemption from the FCC to do this.
I know.
What they should do is find a way to get on board with these guys and make it work through this investment.
Yep.
They need to just cut their losses, stop with that bullshit, and then just get with this, because at least at that you could say there's some efficiency, some synergy to this, right?
True.
Everybody's involved. We're pooling together resources. We'll make this work for calling and texting. You know,
absolutely.
It's just stupid at this point. That Starlink thing with T-Mobile is going to be a failure.
Yeah, I believe that. It's a mess. Yeah, and then the iPhone part is a mess too, with the Global Star part.
Verizon does not own 850 nationwide. They have it in my county, and then once I leave my county, I can't find it anywhere. AT&T's got it. US Cellular owns some in some places. I have looked at the licenses, dog. I don't know. Maybe because of the two of them, it becomes national. Maybe that's what it is. Go ahead, Rick. Put up the 850.
You know where I was going already.
Go ahead. Put up the 850, Rick. Let's see. Let's see if together. Can you select?
All right.
Can you select?
Yeah, there's A block.
AT&T?
Yeah, this is Verizon A block right here. As soon as it loads up. There's Verizon A block.
Okay, so that's A.
Here's Verizon B block.
Oh shit. So they,
oh shit.
It is almost national.
Now let's go to band and let's click on this way. This shows you the whole thing here. It's right here. Is this? Yeah, this is it, right? Is that the right one?
The hell is that, Rick?
Oh, right here. Oh, here's A. Okay, so wait, is that the right? No, that's band 26. Oh, it's this one here. Oh. Yeah, I was on the wrong one. Okay, here's A right here. Okay, so this shows you in different colors. So you see AT&T on block A. There's the red for Verizon, blue for them, and magenta for the skunkies.
Yeah, but
and then you go block B.
Yeah, so then together they have it national. They're the ones with all the spectrum.
Right. So I don't think either one has nationwide on one block. I mean,
yeah, but Ricky, they do this together. It works.
Exactly. You're right.
Yeah.
There's A. There. Look at the blue. So the blue and red are going to be together, and then and the most important part is the rural areas, because they're not even going to be using this anywhere there's a population, because
no,
they're going to cause interference. So this is only going to be turned on when it's in the rural areas.
And that's why when he was all worried about it degrading the network, I didn't really buy into that, because it's only going to be in places like in the middle of the desert or some mountain somewhere where there's no cell tower.
Yep, there's A and there's B. But look at how much Verizon has in the rural area way out there. Crazy.
That's why they
the beauty of
why the truckers, dude. That's why they trust the Verizon. But Ricky, and AT&T did get band 14. That you know, that matters.
Yep. Here's FirstNet. Band 14. Look at that. There you go. Nationwide. Yeah.
Yo, somebody
Yeah,
was
I like
in
this
that video,
website. This shows you the whole everything.
Ricky,
Oh,
remember that comment in that one video about PIM? They were talking about,
oh yeah, yeah,
band
Pim, yeah, yeah.
causing PIM. Is that true? Was band 14 that problematic?
Yeah.
Oh
All of
shit.
them are bad. I mean, you're talking about you see when you're going down those slower frequencies, you're using 2x2 MIMO. You're splattering the crap everywhere. Oh yeah. You're splattering it. 2x2 MIMO is garbage because you're splattering all directions, hoping you it's like you're
Yeah, but Ricky, you know how it is out there in these places, man.
yeah,
You're
I know.
trying to get a signal out there, man.
But that's the difference between the old way and the new way, you know. And now with AST, now you have a phased array low band antenna that's able to focus beam the low band, pinpoint it to a certain place on Earth. And that's pretty cool. They can do that. That's why AST is going to be successful, because you have a large phased array antenna. Basically, what this AST phased array satellite, that same concept is what's going to be used for 5G advanced and 6G in the future. That's what I'm talking about. Just take the AST satellite, take those antennas off the satellite, and you just put them on the side of a building, a 10-story building. Put all those antennas on the side of it. So what are you doing now? Now you're focusing the beams in all different directions, so the signal goes farther and faster. Really? You get it?
Okay,
Those signal travels farther, faster. I'm making fun of T-Mobile.
RF Waves is
remember
saying that there's going to be a lot of PIM and noise from low band on satellite.
Yeah, well, there can be, but the way they're going to spot beam it to Earth, it's not. The spot beam ain't going to be nowhere near an actual tower. Now, what the challenging part is, let's say you got 50 miles of service, and then all of a sudden you got sporadic, like every other tower, you got gaps between the tower. You're not going to be able to take the satellite and beam it between two sites that are 10 miles apart, because you will get the PIM and all that stuff. So those areas are a no-go. But when you got like acres and acres of nothing out there, that's where these spot beams are going to come in.
So if there's like a 50-mile stretch with like no cell signal from a terrestrial cell site, it's got you covered.
Correct. Yeah. Got you covered. But if you got like a 10-mile gap between two towers, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, I don't know how well the spot beam is going to work on this, on AST, but
that's going to be, that's really up to ASTS, their investment into the technology and their utilization and execution. We'll see.
But that's the whole goal of AST, is to bring large areas of coverage, like mountains and plains and all, or, like big fields and cornfields and all that kind of stuff. So that's it. But what we're going to talk about coming up is going to be something that's going to be able to do that even better. So it's pretty cool. So, and I think I'm trying to find out with some connections here if it's 100% true, but I heard Verizon's getting ready to do HAPS NTN in USA. They're going to start experimenting with it. So, and of course, most viewers out here have no idea what HAPS NTN is. They have no idea, but we're going to educate them. We're going to show them what it is. It's really, really cool. And guess who's using HAPS NTN already?
Japan. Oh, Japan?
Yes.
All right. How are they utilizing it?
Yeah, and guess who's the one that's doing it? The actual HAPS program. SoftBank.
Oh, SoftBank. I was gonna say, is it what is it? AT&T Docomo or whatever that company is called?
Well, that's the company that's using tech, the cell company.
Okay.
So they're using the HAPS with Docomo, exactly. So, which brings us to our next part here. I
was gonna say, they're, from what I understand, that's the gold standard for.
Yeah, here it is right here. Is this it? No, it's this article right here. So
this is used for terrestrial.
So here, yeah, this is the NTT Docomo. So that's the company. Docomo-led consortium invests $100 million in HAPS supplier, which is SoftBank. Yep.
20.
So what HAPS is
in the stratosphere, Ricky.
So what HAPS is called High Altitude Platform Station. That's what HAPS stands for. Basically, this is taking a solar plane and putting it up in the atmosphere and letting it fly at 85,000 feet in the stratosphere above the thunderstorms. This is the area between Earth, climate, and space where Elon's stuff is up there. All his stuff up there. So this is the space between it, which an orbit on a satellite won't work because there's too much drag, too much friction, and it would fall back to Earth. Plus, you'd have to have some kind of propellant to keep it in orbit. But guess what this has? It has solar panels, so it has unlimited power. It has propellers in it, so it's able to move air, even though it's really thin up there. But the specially made blades can keep it in the miles per hour, feet per second, whatever it is, to continue in orbit around. Now, it's not going to go completely around. It's just going to do orbital loops, basically. So it's going to fly like an airplane. So that does an oval. It just keeps going around the same oval. And then the antennas on the bottom has the ground stations that's going to beam up the massive amount, terabytes of data up to it to feed it as like a fiber backhaul, wireless backhaul, kind of like it does to Elon satellites. And then you have another set of antennas like AST antennas, right? Phase array. And it's going to beam the stuff back to Earth and the spot beams. But guess what you can do with spot beams is you can't do in space. The closer you are to Earth, the more focused that beam is. You can control it a lot more. And then there's another thing that they're going to do. It's called nullifying. So basically, they're going to put something in there to block the signal. So like if you have a 20-mile stretch you want to cover, you can make the spot beam go to that 20-mile section and then put a blocking system in place so no signal can go down and hit the actual cell phone tower. That way you get rid of the null zone. Mm-hmm. It's a null zone. You know how the null zone is on a tower. Well, basically you're doing it from the air. You're putting a piece of metal up there. It's blocking the signal so it doesn't go down and hit that tower. And everything's moving up there. So as the plane's flying in circles, it's moving the spot beams to cover things. And then it's also doing the other part of blocking signals from reaching an actual 10-mile circle where a cell site is.
So is this a better solution than the LEO satellite that they're doing?
Absolutely.
Oh, shit.
I told you I was going to throw you a curveball. Just when you thought.
Okay, so like what's the potential use cases? Like what type of a network experience could someone have with this compared to the LEO?
Well, one thing you have is like really good fix-to-fix, kind of like what Starlink does. But the other thing is phones. You could be on the phone in the middle of nowhere in a mountain, and you can get like, 500 megabits down and 100 megabits up from this thing.
Okay, so Verizon has a partnership with Amazon, with Project Kuiper. Is this something they should be investing in?
No, I was saying from the beginning that Project Cooper or whatever you call it, Kuiper, however you say it, is a mess. And it should. I didn't even think that was a great idea, but so I think you're going to hear some stuff coming up pretty soon that Verizon is going to ditch that, and they're going to go with the HAPS instead. So I've already heard that there's talks already and testing already that they're getting ready to do here in USA with the HAPS with Verizon. So just picture this. If Verizon does this HAPS thing and they put like 4 or 5 of these things up across each state, like one of these is like circling each state, covering all these, Verizon could potentially have really fast 5G no matter where you go. You could be out in an open field, in a mountaintop, and it's going to perform as good as N77.
This is crazy. So, so what are we investing in then? I mean, isn't it best to cut our losses with all the other stuff and start looking at, things like this?
Yeah, I think you're going to see Verizon drop out of that satellite thing. Just, I think they're going to just do the AST, and that's going to be like the transition to the HAPS later on. I mean, this HAPS stuff is still another 4 or 5 years out. So,
well, who's gonna be the company that does this? It won't be Verizon themselves. It's going to have to be a non-terrestrial.
No, it's SoftBank. Yeah, SoftBank. They're already doing this with Docomo in Japan. So they can just come over here and do it with us over here in USA. No problem. Pretty neat stuff.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy.
Just what you
could have
just
a legitimate data network experience.
Yes. Think about the frequencies. What happens if they use N260 on it?
Tons of bandwidth.
At 85,000 feet is a lot better. I forget how many miles that is, but that's like only like 6 or 7 miles up, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what 85,000 is in miles, but the Starlink is at
85,000
miles.
No, that'd be like 20
Yeah.
miles, 15 miles maybe.
Yeah, okay, 15 miles. And then the Starlink satellites are at 230 miles. Look at the challenge of that. They can't do no mobile service on it. It has to be fixed only because you have to have the phased array on the ground, phased array on the satellite, and that's the only way it's working. So the only way to get a space NTN to work better is bring it closer to Earth, but you can't do that with satellites. So that's why SoftBank in Japan over there,
Docomo, the worries and the concerns about the space junk, this wouldn't be an issue.
No, this ain't a problem. Yeah, because you're not in space.
Yeah,
yep, it's in a free space where there's nothing there. There's nothing there. You don't have to worry about thunderstorms because thunderstorms don't go higher than 75,000. I mean, there's been a few thunderstorms. If it's going 75,000, somebody's getting wrecked on the ground at 75,000 feet. I mean, you're talking about 5-inch hail and all kinds of flooding. I mean, there's some Midwest storms that's actually been 75,000 feet high. So if you're 10,000 above the storm, you're just looking down. And say, oh, okay, just flying up there like a bird. No problem. No space junk. Yep. And this plane, it's like a glider. There's a picture right here. I think this article or the other article has a picture of it. Let's see. Yeah, this has a picture of it right here. This is what it looks like.
Yeah,
that's a HAPS right
you
there.
Gave it a description of like the solar panels all over.
Yeah, solar panels on top, the antennas are on the bottom. So it's just like a satellite. So it gets its power from above, and then its antennas on the bottom. And everything, it's all phased array. Look how thin that is. It's just, it just glides up there. And it's got a propeller on the back. It's solar powered, electric. So it's electric driven. It gives it just enough momentum just to fly up there. Yep, pretty darn cool. Yeah, and FirstNet's using the blimps too. So there's even some talks about using some blimps for this HAPS stuff too. So it wouldn't be a tethered blimp. It would just be a blimp floating up there too. So, but this is what they're doing in Japan right now. So they're already testing this out right now. And it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool tech. That's
high altitude platform station.
Sounds like
here it is, 20 kilometers. So however many miles that is. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a better investment of time and energy and money. It just seems like it has a better potential.
Oh yeah. Look how many rockets you have to launch up just to get coverage like Starlink does. Over 3,000 satellites so far, and
they launched.
And you're still not hitting 1 gig yet.
Yeah,
and you're still not hitting 1 gig. Yep. Pretty wild. And they're talking about using this for 5G Advanced and 6G. So.
Hey, Ricky, you ready for this next thing?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
All right. This data just came out.
Okay.
This is the Open Signal Mobile Experience Report. July 2024.
You already know how I feel about this stuff.
And I'm not going to get into any of the details because I got a video for it and everything. But
okay, cool.
Right here is just the overall experience, the 5G experience, the coverage, the consistency. All right, so let's start first with AT&T's one category, and that is coverage. They have the most available network across the country. Some people have doubts. And then some people, obviously, they will tell you, definitely AT&T does.
Well, I mean, here's proof right now. Chase is he's in Texas already. He came from Ohio, right? And like I said, he lost service 3 times in like 1,500 miles. And the whole trip is going to be 2,000
Where was it?
miles.
What state, by the way?
Let me see. St. Louis, right at the Mississippi River, was a dead spot.
He lost coverage at St. Louis?
Yeah, at the river, Mississippi River, 400 feet. So I don't know why the towers wasn't covering that there with AT&T.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so
that's one that
it was there,
happened.
and there another place in Missouri that he lost it for a moment, and then the other place was, I think Illinois, somewhere over by southern Illinois when he come through there. So 3 places. Now a couple times he was breaking up a little bit, but then But the iPhone's doing really good on the AT&T network going across the country there. The RF is great on it. It's a good phone. Now, if you take a Samsung, you try to do a 2,000-mile trip across country, I think I have a little bit more problems. So,
you said you would have more problems?
I think you would, because there's no doubt that the iPhone has better antenna modules and all that stuff in it. So it's going to work a lot better.
You really believe that?
Oh, I know that. Yeah. That's why it's
got has better antennas than the Galaxies?
Yeah, it's got a modified. And that's the only reason DSDA works. That's why we don't have DSDA on the S24 Ultra, because the modem can do it, but Samsung didn't waste any time putting the antenna modules and modifying the transceiver so it can have two simultaneous signals. That's why if you turn on the second eSIM or the second SIM on, you're going to have degraded performance because they're interfering with each other. So if you have a Samsung, you got to restart the phone with that firmware and just run one SIM.
Yeah, true. Yep. Yeah, that's true.
I did speed test. I posted on Twitter, showed everybody that. So a lot of people didn't believe me. They said, "Oh, you're crazy, Ricky." Yeah, I might be crazy and old, but I know a little bit of stuff.
All right, Rick. How about this, man? Overall experience, T-Mobile took everything.
Oh my God.
So overall video, overall live streaming, overall gaming, overall download speed, overall upload speed. Overall meaning it's 4G LTE and 5G included. So they took every category.
You can't forget the fake 5G too, You can't forget that,
But they took everything.
I don't know how. Because every time I try to use their stuff, it's like buffer, drop call, buffer, drop call. But the market over here is crazy. It's nuts.
Not very good for him over there.
This standalone tower right next to my house is 0.1 mile away. Garbage.
0.1?
Got 100. Yes. It's got 160 megahertz. Pretty much, almost. Yeah. It's got 160 megahertz of spectrum. It's got N41. 3 carrier aggregation of N41.
So 2 N41 channels and then N71?
3 N41s. There's no N71. Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yep. 130 and 20.
Oh, it's non-contiguous. It's
non-contiguous. Yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
That's just straight up trash. You go a mile down the road, you get like 10 down and 5 up or some crap like that. It just doesn't even work, They don't even have massive MIMO antennas on that N41. It's like
my home site's
it's like 8 by 8. It's in one of them concealed antenna things, It's trash.
Oh, it's passive?
Well, it's not a like N77 is with the 64 by 64. I might know. It's got like 8 by 8. It's trash. Yeah.
Yeah. So it has no range. The uplink is weak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. Straight up trash. And then the other sites
you're connected to one of those sites because they perform really well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then the other site down the road
has so much potential, man. It's so much.
Yeah, then there's another site down the road, almost 200 megahertz of spectrum between N41, N25, N71, and N66 or something. It has all that. It's got fake 5G mixed into it. I did a speed test. I had 500 down and like 100 up, and the ping was like 60. It's like
500 down and 100 up. So they don't. That means they probably don't have a multi-gig circuit. So it's.
I don't know. It's trash, but then I went some other places that actually perform good. I mean, almost a gig down, but just Vegas is just not very skunky friendly. It's just I don't know. And AT&T sucks here too. It's you hear me and Carlos always complaining about AT&T here too.
Yeah, AT&T.
There's some areas where skunky actually performs better than poop TT. Which just kind of blows your mind.
Yo, Rick, you're a big fan of Dish.
Me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love Dish. Oh, my God. And even on this Motorola, it is good. This is crazy. I could do a speed test on here while I'm on a phone call, and I get full speeds. I broke a record the other day. I got like 600 down and like 110 up on Dish. It blew my mind.
What channels is it?
Well, it has N70, N66, N71. Now this can't do N29, so you don't get that, but it's a waste of time anyway. It's not too bad for fake 5G. And yeah, I'll sit here and call Dish fake 5G all day long because there's no 5G in it. It's all LTE.
No massive MIMO.
But no, it's all LTE stuff. Just
speaking
put 5G standalone.
Speaking of 5G, Rick, T-Mobile got one 5G award. and it was 5G download speeds.
Yeah.
Verizon took 5G video experience, 5G live streaming, 5G gaming, and 5G upload.
Not surprised.
And then for coverage, AT&T was the one. That was 5G coverage, went to T-Mobile. 5G, or this is just coverage. Coverage experience, Verizon won that one. 5G availability went to T-Mobile. Consistency also went to T-Mobile. So they won some awards with Open Signal.
Yeah.
Which is really different than Root Metrics, where T-Mobile really does bad. AT&T and Verizon dominate that testing.
All right, yeah.
Here's the regional.
Well, one thing we definitely know is the skunk apes are very happy with T-Mobile towers. We know that for sure.
Let's take a look at Nevada.
Oh Lord.
T-Mobile all the way, buddy.
Yeah, okay.
Ohio, T-Mobile all the way.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Wisconsin,
well,
T-Mobile all the way.
Go down I-70 between Columbus and Wheeling, and then tell me what you think about T-Mobile. The towers don't even overlap. They don't even overlap.
It's not available.
You get a drop call between. Yeah, that's crazy. So where they test this stuff is probably the urban areas.
Well, no, this is crowdsourced. So they're not drive testing this, right?
Yeah.
This is anybody from any phone.
True, but you got to remember too how T-Mobile does their routing too. You know, if you're doing these crowdsourced stuff, the site gives you maximum priority. It steals all the bandwidth from everybody else. Don't forget that now.
Yeah.
Caleb confirmed it.
That's how ookla works. I know that for a fact.
Caleb knows. He was there. He knows. So he said, yeah. He goes, you get 10 or 15 people that does a speed test on a T-Mobile site. It wrecks it for everybody else.
The national
speed tests draw a lot of data.
It said T-Mobile wins the video experience outright 4th year in a row. Or 4th report in a row. So that's like one full year. AT&T has increased their performance. Verizon and T-Mobile increased theirs as well. So they're all kind of getting better. All operators. all operators place in the good category.
Yep.
Video experience scores account for adaptive bitrate streaming, a technology that allows Open Signal to accurately represent users' real video experience, including video streams up to 4K.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know. This just doesn't look possible.
Look, to me, it's just one.
I've tried to live stream on T-Mobile. Can't even do it. Can't even live stream. I tried to live stream in Fort Lauderdale.
Issues is calling with T-Mobile. That seems to be the most unreliable thing. Like the sound quality of the call itself, and then handoffs between sites are just rough.
Yep. My friend had T-Mobile. He got rid of it and went to Verizon. Now I could talk to him for hours, never get a drop call. It was crazy.
The video experience is pretty standard. I don't really see much buffering. I mean, once in a while, but nothing crazy. I don't even try to live stream. I learned my lesson with T-Mobile a long time ago. I was at the bakery, Rick, and I was starting a YouTube live stream, and it failed after like 30 seconds. And right before the stream, I checked the uplink. It was 50 megabits.
Yep.
So it wasn't a bandwidth issue. Like it wasn't a throughput issue, is what I'm saying. It wasn't because the network didn't have it. Something else was wrong.
Yeah, something else.
I don't know if it was jitter or whatever, but just something made the connection unreliable. And then I was live streaming out of Medina, and I was testing all the networks, and I was calling Nikki on the way back, and the call dropped on the freeway. A freeway, bro. The towers are like 300 feet tall. They could stretch for miles. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The call dropped. He's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I don't know." So for me, the calls have been the biggest issue.
Yeah. Baby Yoda says, "Poop TT." He's making fun of me there. And then EM Tech says, "Wisconsin, T-Mobile doesn't have coverage in half the state." Yeah, how can they win something?
But they won.
Maybe there's roaming on Verizon or something.
I don't know, man. Let's check out Ohio real quick. I
A
just
lot
want to.
of
Let's see.
raccoonery, buffoonery. Let's see.
All right, here's Ohio. It's all T-Mobile.
I don't know.
Look how AT&T is faster than Verizon because of band 14. Literally
Band
because of band
14?
14. Yeah.
You really think because 14 is nothing? It's only like 10
Ricky,
megahertz.
they climbed every tower site to put on band 14 and upgraded the whole
Yeah,
tower. So their
yeah,
towers
but
are
it's
more modern than Verizon's.
well, that's true. I mean, if you go into areas on band 1366, oh yeah, they're going to
Exactly.
beat
That's
them.
my
Yeah, yeah,
point.
yeah.
Verizon
That's true.
hasn't gone
Yeah,
to them and put
yeah,
N77 or bro, how about this?
yeah.
You saw all that band 5 that they own? None of those
Uh-huh.
tower sites are transmitting it. There's no
Nope.
radios up there doing it.
Nope. They're not wasting their time. They're going to go hit
Oh,
N77 on every site.
we got our
Oh,
first
yeah.
super chat. Kenneth, thank you. Any news on ACP? I guess
Uh-oh.
GG Sohn is trying to salvage the ACP program. I don't know how successful she's going to be because where the hell is she going to get funding? Without
Yep.
government support, that program is destined to be just on the shelf. It's just, it needs funding. Right now, everybody's going over to Lifeline. That's it. Yep. And I don't know if T-Mobile supports Lifeline. They might from Sprint, possibly. I don't know. Thanks for the super chat, Kenneth. Shout out to you, man. What else, Rick?
Well, we could talk on this rest of this other thing here. Is it that one? No, not that one. This one. This one here. Yeah, this is the one we was talking about, the kind of the early 6G. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if America just skips over 5G advanced, goes straight to 6G, because with the FCC is not giving us frequencies that we can use 5G advanced really good on. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we start moving up to GigaMIMO and all the other stuff sooner, and they just transition it into 6G instead of it, But it's great. I forgot. There's another article I was going to show you here. Oh yeah, here we go. We forgot to talk about China. Forgot to talk about China. So they had this the MWC, it says Mobile World Congress.
Usually it's in Spain, isn't it?
Well, they have one there too, but they also have one in China because they got to have one there too. So they had one this year at Shanghai. And let's see. Now we're going to talk about 5G advanced in China. Yeah, they're the first ones to deploy it. I mean, really deploy it. Now it's not 100% perfect yet because there's still some problems. They're still using fake 5G mixed in with it, and they're not using the new MIMO yet because it's not out yet. But what they did is they did a test platform here. They used X75 modem on a Xiaomi 14 Pro device. And of course, they use that. And they did quite a development here. And let's see. Oh, here we go. This is what they got on millimeter wave. They actually did 26 gigahertz, kind of like similar to what Verizon used. They did an 800 megahertz channel, and then they took a 100 megahertz channel of 3.5 gigahertz. Now, as you know, in China, 3.5 is not band 48. It's not a shared thing. It's not, no. 3.5 in China is equal to 3.7 here in USA. It's 100 megahertz channel full macro.
Is it N78?
So they did that. Yeah, I think it's called N78 over there. Yeah. And so there you got 900 megahertz of spectrum, and they made this standalone, and they did a test, and they got 8.5 gigs down. Oh, this was with the X80 modem that's getting ready to come out next year.
Okay.
Yeah, this because it's got 6 carrier aggregation, and it does the
what is this year's Galaxy doing? 4 carrier?
No, 5.
5 carrier.
X75 does 5. Yeah.
5. Okay. So
yep. And the X80 will do 7, I think.
Oh,
I think it'll do 7, which is gonna be kind of crazy. But that's pretty cool that they did this, and so they're having some fun here. And then of course, you know, you got to throw in the fake 5G in here. So here they did 4 carrier aggregation. They did, so they threw in here 900 megahertz, which is equal to like N5 here in US, 2.1 gigahertz, which you know what that is here and there. That's 66, right? And then 3.5, which is equal to our N77. So that's what they did. They did the 3 carrier. Well, it's 4 carrier. They must have used 2 carriers of the same, like. Oh, the 3.5. They probably did 2 100 megahertz channels. That's probably what they did. And then so they did a download rate of 3.8 gigabits per second using fake 5G and real 5G. So that just shows you how strong that 200 megahertz of the 3.5 is. It's doing all the work. The other part's just, you know, extra bandwidth basically.
Supplemental, might help uplink, those sorts of things. Yeah.
So this is kind of the stuff they're doing, and I don't know what the QAM is, you know, what this test QAM is, because they don't show it here what the QAM is, but I'm sure it's probably 1024 QAM, because 3GPP standard says you can use sub 7, you can use 1024 QAM, and also with the X80 modem, I think it can do 1024 QAM on upper mid band and millimeter wave. Right now in the X75, it only does 256, but we haven't got the official specs out on the X80 other than what Qualcomm give us, but I'm pretty sure before it actually launches, it's going to have 1024 QAM. It needs to, because that's the only way you're going to get better beamforming and the speed. Yeah, the QAM is the magic. So, yep. So this is what's going on in China. 5G advances already started, and this ain't even the subband full duplex antennas either, which is, you know, it's going to be coming up next.
The crazy thing is, like, in order to do this, you just need those frequencies. You need bandwidth. Like, the FCC has to do this. Like, you just start to like free the bandwidth from the shackles of the Like, we just make this stuff available, and I guarantee you, like, these companies will make magic happen. They will start investing in the gear if you just let them have access to the spectrum.
The FCC is the whole reason why AT&T and T-Mobile are taking down their LTE fake 5G equipment and putting new equipment up. I mean, who does that? Who takes LTE, which is converted to 5G, which is fake 5G now? You pull those panels down, you replace them with new panels that are more energy efficient and smaller, lighter wind load on the tower. But you're not going to get any more performance because you're still stuck on 20 megahertz channel, and you don't have massive MIMO. You're still stuck at 2x2 MIMO, maybe 4x4 if you get lucky.
Who's doing that?
T-Mobile. Yeah, they're pulling down their this the whole N25 and N66 upgrade for the fake 5G for T-Mobile. They're doing it nationwide. Yeah, exactly. They're upgrading fake 5G antennas. Yeah, exactly. I laughed when I saw that article. It was like, okay.
They're investing money.
But the FCC leaves them no choice. The FCC is not giving them anything that they can use 64 by 64 or the 128 by 128 coming out. But the 128 is coming out for band 41 in overseas and other countries. There's other countries that's using band 41, and they're already developing 128 by 128 massive antennas for them.
I've seen some of the guys on the X platform. They're from the Middle East, bro. They show me N41.
Oh, yeah. You should see Dubai and Saudi Arabia. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 400 megahertz, 4 100 megahertz channels, carrier aggregate with standalone. They don't have any fake 5G mixed in. It's just pure 400 megahertz of that stuff.
And if you
look, they're getting a couple gigs down, a couple gigs up.
You ever look at those 5G reports? Like, those are the fastest countries.
Yeah. That's like crazy.
Ericsson and Nokia report.
America is last in 5G, thanks to the FCC, Federal Clown Commission.
They don't know what they're really regulating. Like, they don't really understand their mission. They don't understand the technology. I don't know if it's because of a lack of advisory, or they just don't have the technological inclination. Like, they don't have the training. But they've been assigned to these positions as commissioners. They've been put in place by leaders to lead.
Yeah. I think people should have an RF engineering background and some other kind of backgrounds before you can be a part of FCC and make decisions on what RF engineers actually deploy out there.
The advocacy has to be for technology to advance. It can't just be
Exactly.
regulating to just get in the way of shit.
Yep.
Like,
Exactly.
'cause then you're just pandering to politics, which we've seen. But there has been pandering in the FCC. We have seen it. They didn't have a fifth commissioner for like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
How the hell are you going to vote on stuff with 4 commissioners? It's going to be 2 and 2. You're going to never win.
It's like having a driving instructor, right? You're a driving instructor to teach people how to drive a car, right? But you go out and you go, okay, here's a bicycle. Teach me how to ride a bicycle. No, you're a car driving instructor. You're going to teach somebody how to ride a bicycle? It doesn't match. Things got to match. There's unbalanced stuff there for sure.
Well, that's the whole thing about the 4.9 was if the FCC does the right thing, and you got people that are obviously fighting for the access. We saw what happened with the FAA.
Oh yeah, exactly.
With N77.
So what's these operators on 4.9, if they start getting interference from this stuff after they deploy it and license it and stuff, all of a sudden they pull this card on and say, oh, well, your crap's in. Now what are you going to do? And what good is FirstNet if you can't use it? If you can't use it because somebody else is transmitting it and knocks it out, and so no, you can't transmit because we're picking up somebody else transmitting it, so you can't even use it. And the 20 megahertz channels is just a big mistake. Like we said earlier, the only way it's going to work is if they come to agreement. If you're going to deploy it with 5G, it has to be one 50 megahertz channel,
high power,
and enough power so you can do spectral efficiency a little bit. It's only going to be half because you're not doing the full 100 megahertz bandwidth. But I did also hear too that there's some new technology coming out that you're going to get better spectral efficiency with just a 50 megahertz channel to compensate for all the FCC nightmares that have been going on. If they do that, where you can take a 50 megahertz channel and you can get the same performance as a 100 megahertz channel, that's going to be a game changer. And Qualcomm's already working on that right now.
To increase the spectral efficiency?
So you get better beamforming, all that. Because right now you need a whole 100 megahertz to put the power up. The other part that's going to help that is the subband full duplex, the 2 separate antennas, receive and transmit.
Sure. Yeah.
Because if you do that, then you can crank up the power more.
The hardware is going to be larger, right? It's going to be taller.
No. Well, maybe just a little bit, but not that much taller.
Not to the point where you think it impacts the lease agreements with the tower companies and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the whole idea of having the antennas overlay each other, 64 by 64 on the same panel. Then it's smaller space and everything. So basically, you take an N77 antenna and you double the size. Well, not quite double the size. Half double, I guess, your size. Then that would be because you'd have the antenna, the receive on top, and the transmit on the bottom, and then you're good. Oh, look at there, it's Alex.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Oh, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I told him we were going live tonight, talking about some good 5G good stuff here.
Yeah, he gave us a shout out to 5G ultra wideband.
Yeah,
I know he's a big fan of the Verizon network. Yeah. He's got a lot of millimeter wave deployed in his market.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's in a big one. He's in the Philly market, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that's major. A lot of folks there. I think they have like 4 million people.
I figured this would be a good idea to come on here with you and talk. I know I haven't been doing my channel that much. I'm still kind of mad at YouTube. They want to pay me $10 a month to waste all my time and stuff like that. I mean, you're more invested, so and you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for the fun. I like doing it for the fun, but it just makes it hard. I hate to take money out of my pocket and then invest in something that I'm not going to get nothing back. I'd rather do other things like go hiking Red Mountain, or something like that, So
have you been doing that?
Yeah, it's oh yeah, I've been hiking, yeah. And when Chase was here on vacation, we went up on Red Mountain, hiked up there 3,600 feet, it's great. And then we went to Mount Charleston.
Do you have the cardiovascular capacity to hike to altitude?
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Oh my God, look at that super chat. Holy cow.
Santiago, what up, brother? Thanks for the super chat, man. Wow, that's really nice of you, man. Saw an article yesterday mentioning that a recent Supreme Court decision limits what agencies like the FCC can do in terms of regulations without congressional approval. It will be interesting to see if this affects cellular. So here's the problem with that. Again, judges don't know frequencies. They like this is not. This makes it worse.
Yep, they need to be watching our channel.
This is crazy, man.
Learn things. Yeah.
Oh my god. So thank you, Santiago. Always a huge supporter of the channel and everything that we do here and
Yep.
produce.
Yep.
Thank you, man. Wow. Oh my
Yeah, but I'm
goodness.
still doing good. I'm at 155 pounds, still doing good, staying active and everything, eating right and
Yo,
doing
Ricky,
good, keeping weight
I
off.
lost I've lost 20 pounds since the
I could
school year
tell.
left off.
Look at you.
I lost 20 and I've
Congratulations,
been
man.
able to keep my muscle, so I've been lifting weights.
Yep.
I've been training. I've just thrown in some extra running.
Yep.
Right. I'm trying to cut the food, man. I just like to eat, bro.
I know, me too, man. I'm part Italian. You know what that means, right?
I've
German
noticed
Italian. Look out.
back in my 20s when I used to monitor my diet, like really watch what I was cooking and everything. All of a sudden, my abs would start to show, dog. Like literally within
it's crazy.
a couple weeks. But like now in my older age, I don't even care about abs. I'm just trying to be healthy.
Yep. Well, my body mass index back when I was 225 pounds, I think it was like 35 or 36 was the BMI. Guess what it is right now? 29.9. I went below 30 for the first time since high school. Crazy.
Proud of you, Rick. That's big time, man.
So yeah, I'm doing pretty good drinking the tea and eating lots of vegetables and stuff. And
hey, what up?
I fired my doctors, told them they're not going to poison me with that medicine anymore. So when Chase gets out here, he says that he's going to force me to work out in the gym. So I got to start working out with, so yeah, he got an HVAC job out here. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he left Ohio. He said, got the hell out of that place. He says, I'm out
so
of here.
He's moving to Vegas.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's on his way here now. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought he was just visiting.
Oh, he already did that. He fell in love with this place. Yeah. He went back in the humidity and he goes, screw this Ohio crap. He's like, oh, and he can make some crazy money out here too. Mad crazy money. So HVAC is big out here, man.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna be
so he's an amateur radio operator. So I told him about all the repeaters on the mountain. When we went to Red Mountain, I said, look at that. Our repeater that we was just talking about is right there. And he goes, oh wow, that's crazy. So yeah, he's pretty excited.
So what is he? Southern Ohio? He's moving from?
Yeah, East Ohio. Southeast Ohio, yeah, over that way, yeah. Over near where I was out over there.
It's quiet out there. There's no action, in that part of Ohio.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, it's
pretty
Franklin
slow.
County where Columbus is, and then Cuyahoga County where Cleveland is, and then a little bit, northwest, closer to Toledo and Detroit. But I mean, it's corn country. Ohio's a flyover state. It's just a traditional Midwest state.
For
if you're not in one of those metro-ish areas, it's just gonna be super quiet, no action. Vegas is
pretty wild
city through and through, so there's action.
Yeah,
is he in commercial or residential for
I think they do both. Yeah. Which was crazy is they called him and said, hey, you want to come work for us? They called him. He had his stuff on Indeed. They found him. They were like behind. They were like 2 weeks behind on appointments. So they was calling every person with HVAC experience on Indeed. So because I told him put the address here, so they think you're already here, and you'll get phone calls. And he did it, and bang, he got like 5 phone calls one day. So that's pretty crazy, man.
So he literally packed his stuff up in a couple of days.
He went back for his 2 weeks bonus sentence, and I'm out of here.
Wow.
Yep.
Now,
he was up on the rooftop. It was 112 outside. And he was outside talking up on the rooftop, 112 out, just sitting there talking on the phone like it was nothing.
So the thing about picking up and moving, if you don't have like wife, children, family that have like deep rooted years invested in the place,
that's true.
And you can pick up and go. But once those things are in play, there's more factors.
Yep. When you're young, you can do that, but once you get bedded down, it's a lot different. It's like for you couldn't.
If you're single,
it depends on the opportunity.
Go. Look, check this out, Ricky. Check this out. If you're single, here's the types of things you could do. Your friend calls you up, let's go out to dinner. You go. You're ready, showered, and you're out the door in like 20 minutes. Right? You ain't doing that with no family with kids, bro. Like, let's get the kids ready in 20 minutes. Not happening, dog. It's going to take 2 hours to get out of the house.
Yep. Like, Mommy, I got to go to the bathroom before we go. Okay. Then the other one says, oh, I got to go now. It's like, next thing you know,
Hey, thanks, Tim. Appreciate you being a member, man.
Crazy. Yeah, so maybe later on I'll start trying to get some more live streams coming up. So try to do some more here. So
always weigh your time, bro. Value your time.
Yeah.
And always do
I
what you
know.
want to do and
But
whatever.
my viewers been bugging me, man. People have been bugging me. They say, "Hey, we need a live stream. We need a live stream."
Wow,
So
Rick. It's been
they
a long
miss me.
yeah.
Some of them miss me. Some of the people out there hate me. But I say the word fake
Rick,
5G and they snap. They go, "What? What'd you say? It ain't fake 5G."
Ricky, my name
I'll
is
pick on you,
mattered
I'm sorry.
all over Reddit. From people that
yeah,
and me, hate me.
I know. I saw that comment yesterday. That was crazy.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to care? Because I can't.
You can't.
I
You
got
a job to
do with my time than to be consumed by whatever that is.
Yeah, you're the tech preacher there. So.
Up there it is.
Yeah, we got some good things coming. There he is. Fake 5G. Yes, yeah. I poked the bear. There you go. Don't tag me.
Ricky, it was good, man. Awesome. I got to get off here.
It was great to see you again, buddy. Yeah,
pleasure having you. We'll do this again
I know it's getting late over there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate you being here. Salute to everybody for liking the video, sharing it, hanging out with me and Rick, and consuming the content. We got more videos coming up. We might do a live stream at the end of the week. But stay tuned for more content. We'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, buddy. See you guys later.